Hi, this is Diana and welcome to my kitchen. Super Bowl Sunday is coming up, so this episode is going to be all about dips. And I have this really bad habit of making a lot of appetizers, so by the time it's time for dinner, everybody's so full. But these are three of my family's favorite. It's going to be Auntie Val's chili dip, garlic dip for all of us garlic lovers, and spinach dip. But instead of spinach, I'm using kale because I didn't want to go to the store and go buy spinach when I had kale already. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to start with the chili dip and then put it on the stove and let it melt away while I'm making the other dips, and it'll be done by the time everything's all melted. So, for the chili dip, you need 1 pound of sharp, preferably sharp cheddar cheese, and cut it into cubes, probably, I don't know, 1/2 inch cubes so that it's easier to melt. If you want to, you can grate it, but chunk is fine. So you're going to have the 1 pound of cheese cubed. You're going to have 2 cans, like the parrot, 2 cans of chili, no beans. Because the chili with no beans is more expensive than the chili with beans, I usually don't use it, but I got these on sale. So this is chili no beans. And you usually serve this in like a fondue pot or something, and just have it simmer away and you eat it with tortilla chips. It's delicious. So you use 2 cans of the chili. You use 4 ounces or 1/2 block of cream cheese. It says to use 1/2 jar of La Victoria salsa, but I didn't have it and I wasn't going to go to the store, so I just got my regular salsa. So I'm putting a cup of this salsa in. It also called for a can of green chilies, and I didn't have it, so I chopped up some jalapenos, pickled jalapenos. So it's going to be a little bit spicy, but it's going to be delicious. So all you got to do, give this a quick mix. And throw it on the stove and just let it cook on low until everything's all melted. And this is my homemade baguettes. I used my bowl recipe and I just shaped it into baguettes. Okay. And because I didn't want to go to the store, I made my own bowl to put the spinach dip in. So, spinach dip, easy peasy. You can either use a 10-ounce, those little packages like this of frozen spinach, let it thaw, kind of squeeze it out, get all the liquid out of it, and then give it a quick chop, because usually there's really long strands of spinach, is kind of yucky. So I use kale. I steamed my kale and I just chopped it in little bitty pieces. I took out all these crunchy bits, the stem part of the kale that's really tough. So we have your kale, and I don't know, I just think it's healthier that way. Oh dear, I think it's 2 cups of sour cream, 1 cup of mayo. This is not for the dieters. None of these are.
But the kale's healthy.
Kale's healthy. Okay, 1 cup of mayo. And then you get like a small can, the can that's kind of like the size of tuna cans, and you chop up water chestnuts. Kind of fine, but you don't want to, make it mushy. You throw that in, and if you can find Knorr's leek soup, use it. If not, use this. And what I do is I make this, I use this, the vegetable, but if you add 2 teaspoons of granulated garlic, it's just like the leek one. So 1, 2, sort of 2. And mix it all up. Oh, and the kale turned this beautiful green. It's a nicer color than the spinach would have been. All 3 of these dips taste better if you let them, set for at least a couple hours. The garlic dip especially is better overnight than it is if you just eat it right away, because you don't get the true bite from the garlic. Okay, and that's it for the spinach dip. Look at that, 2 down, 1 to go, and this one is the easiest. All right, this is 3½ cups of sharp cheddar cheese, and I did it on the little finer grater, not the big whole one. I mean, I guess you could. And don't use the packaged shredded cheese. Never use that. So 3½ cups. We're gonna start with 2/3 cup of sour cream. 2/3 cup of sour cream. And 2/3 cup of mayo. You're gonna use equal mayonnaise and sour cream. Okay, give it a quick mix. And if you want, I guess you could put pimentos in it. Then it would make it like a pimento cheese type of dip. Okay, this is gonna need just a touch more. So let's try a 1/3 cup more of sour cream. This is 2/3, so this is half. And 2/3 cup of mayonnaise. Ooh, that looks like a lot. Let's look at what this looks like. This is it. So I used 2/3 plus 1/6 cup. So a little bit less than a cup. This is 7 cloves of finely minced garlic. Now the point is, I think, for this, is to get your dip to where it's almost hot when you eat it. It's so garlicky, but it's so good. Then you can also put it on bread and then make it like a garlic bread. It's so good. You can also add this stuff to pasta, and it makes really nice, rich pasta. So this is what you want to have it look like. When you put it in the refrigerator, it's going to solidify a little bit. So when you're serving it, take it out half an hour before you're gonna eat it. Okay? Now, that's all three. Now what we're gonna do, the spinach dip is served inside of a bowl. To do that, you just cut the top off. And then leave at least a half an inch thickness. I feel like a mass murderer or something. Is that it? There. No, 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 no. Here, no. Oh, that's it. And then you just cut so you can make cubes of bread to eat the spinach dip. This is when you really get your hands into your food. And if you want, you can throw it into the oven just to crisp up the outside if you want. You don't have to. It's a little bit easier to eat. Just make sure you don't puncture a hole in the bottom. And if you do, use one of these pieces of bread to patch it up. And then you just spoon that into here. And what I usually do is I cut this into serving size pieces and I reconstruct it on top of the bread. Okay, and then you just cut these into little chunks. Ooh, I hear my chili dip calling me. One second. You can also, the baguettes, you slice these thinly. And you can use these to dip into your spinach dip. You can also use it to eat your garlic dip. Actually, the garlic dip is served with Fritos scoops. It's so good. Okay. See? Cute. And then if you want to, so people can be polite, you cut it in half so they have little tiny pieces. Okay. Done. Okay. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys try this dip. Tell me how it comes out and if everybody just raved about it. Also tell me what you do with your garlic dip. I'd like to know anything else that people do with it. So we'll see you next time. Thanks for coming.